Moving on to some slop content for the week, taking a little break away from the serious stuff. Chuck Basher, aka Cali Muscle, a failing TikTok and YouTube influencer, is, well, I think fair to say, actually failed at this point. This guy is someone we've talked about plenty times before, and to recap, he's scammed people out of their money time and time again. He has done crypto rug pulls, he has done fake and fraudulent raffles, and as well illegal raffles. And during this whole time, from his initial outing as a bodybuilder from prison, writing a book and going crazy on YouTube, to where we are now, his brain has slowly deteriorated, leading him to dye his eyes permanently a different color and so much more. Since we've talked about him in our last video, things have only gotten worse. You see, the last time we spoke about Chuck, he was just rambling incoherently, telling other men that basically they need to get coached by him to learn how to be a man, how to be rich, how to be successful, how to live a happy life. This time, I don't even know if you can call it something that resembles consciousness at all.
Prison politics are everything. You know, you got to play the politics, and it's like a chess game. Either you could get caught up in the politics or you could be the politicker. If that make any sense.
It's like kind of poking a mouse to see if it's still alive, and every once in a while you swore it moved a bit, but maybe it was just your eyes playing tricks on you. Because if you look at his accounts online, specifically YouTube, it's kind of sad. He's deferred to some kind of social media planner that's pulling every cringe tactic out of the book, from absolute clickbait titles to really cringy, oversaturated, hyper dopamine edit slash stuff with his thumbnails, when his best performing videos were never anything like this. At a point of almost having 4 million subscribers, account that has been deteriorating quite rapidly, may I add, he only manages to just barely squeak out 20K views on any one of his videos. Brother, I can help you out with so much of this right now. Just hit me up. We can figure out a PR strategy that would be amazing for you. Anyways, his counterpart, Big Boy, is posting the same kind of content. They clearly have the same strategy together. Whether it's the same person managing their accounts or something like that, I have no idea. Except what they've been doing is quite embarrassing lately, as they've been making a bunch of videos together. First, they can't help but talk about other men in their videos. This is something that they vehemently are against when other people call them out, because men getting other men's names in their mouths is inherently gay. This is what they've been doing in almost every series of videos they've been making in the past several months. They won't stop mentioning John Bravo and everybody else talking about them.
What I think of John Bravo? Culture vulture. Culture vulture, bro. Like, he attacking men that's trying to help y'all. Like, if y'all don't see nothing wrong with that, I don't know what, man. So, you know, that right there is not a, you know, that's not a good person to just make up stuff on people. He been slandering me for about 10 years, bro. You know, we out here helping people. We not out here hurting people, doing wrong, gossiping, making up stories and all that.
But I'm thinking, how am I a culture vulture when the videos that I make on here are to expose bad people doing bad shit?
Whenever I listen to Cali, it's like he resembles a 3-year-old. I'm trying to listen, but really there's nothing being strung together, and I just kind of lose interest in it after a couple of seconds. We actually broke the science down behind this in another video. It's actually kind of worth you checking out.
We've been talking a lot about Cali Muscle's cognitive ability, right? It seems to be, as nicely as I could put it, like declined significantly since 8 years ago when he started to post content. Do you think that there's some ties to anabolic steroid abuse, but also maybe ties to this kind of diet model that he's been following supposedly for quite a bit of time now? Or is there more to the story?
Definitely, I mean, it's quite evident now. We've looked at some of the latest literature analyzing the effects of certain anabolic steroids, how they impact the brain, neurotoxicity associated with their usage. Obviously, this is dosage dependent and also, you know, duration of usage, things like that. But having said that, there are certain compounds that can be used as a neuroregenerative, neuroprotective agent. So things like taking high doses of taurine, things like ginkgo biloba, phosphatidylserine, and some other nerve growth factor agents such as cerebrolysin, dihexa, things like that. But I'd say if we're looking at his specific case, this cognitive decline, I'd imagine a lot of that would also be due to the fact that since he was probably blasting very high doses of anabolics and androgens, what likely would have happened is that there would have been some severe dopamine downregulation and dysfunction that would have occurred following the withdrawal of these particular substances.
The premise is heavily abusing 19 NOR-based compounds like steroids, nandrolone, trenbolone, etc., along with a horrific diet and what is to be a lot of inflammation and insulin insensitivity, definitely deteriorates his cognitive capacity. But beyond this, he goes even further with his best friend, Big Girl. They start calling out other influencers because no one, and I mean no one, wants to collaborate with them.
They can't handle it that you
They mad.
cut up like that.
They mad, homie. They mad. It's all right. You guys be mad, homie. We don't keep getting this shit. We blowing up the buys today. We hitting them tries today. And we blowing these motherfuckers up, dog. Let's keep getting this shit.
Where
Let's
y'all
keep
at?
getting that
Where
shit.
you and your crew? Do you think you and your crew can handle me?
Yeah. You know what? Where the Trend Twins at? Where the Trend Twins at? Let's have a lift off. Where the Trend Twins at?
Where the Trend Twins?
Hey, where you guys at? What you want to do? Bench, deadlift, curls. Come on, let's do it.
Let's get it,
Let's
baby.
do it.
Let's get it. Yeah,
You know
where
what
you
I mean?
at?
You got that duo. We got that duo. What's cracking?
Exactly. What's
Let's
happening?
do it. We calling out the Trend
do it.
Twins. Let's get a lift on. Curls,
get it.
whatever. It don't have to be nothing crazy.
Yeah.
We just go at it. Let's get a
What's embarrassing about this is they keep saying they mad, because they talking shit, they mad. No one is mad. The internet is quite literally just laughing at you. And if you just look at any of their videos, and I mean any of their videos, the comments spammed all throughout their videos. Not one person thinks that they have merit. I mean, in this video, they're calling out the Trend Twins to try to earn some form of clout. It's social hacking at its finest, but it's just a really poorly executed version of it. One comment reads, using the Trend Twins name to save your struggling channel. Leave them 24-year-olds alone, you 40. He didn't even have enough capacity to finish that sentence, but he roasted him still, which is crazy. And why are they doing this? Why act a fool? Why be so inconsiderate of your own self-image and just embarrass yourself? Well, another comment sums it up quite well. Still reminiscing about your prison days as a 40-year-old and 60-year-old man. Pathetic. Yeah, these dudes are grandfather age, trolling around, trying to start artificial drama on the internet, and the only value that they can bring to the table or have ever brought to the table is that they were from prison. It was their persona, their character, and it worked for a while, just not anymore. Moving into one of Callie's most recent videos because I wanted to check where he's at since it's been a while since we've last covered him. By the way, he hired a company to try to take down my videos, which was basically really ineffective. There was strikes against all of my videos and they were all unsuccessful with the counterclaims I submitted. But anyways, in this video, before we get too deep, let's look at the comment section because I think it's quite clear what people think of this video. Yeah, so John Bravo is basically just haunting Cali Muscle at this point. And again, be so fucking for real here. What are we doing pulling up to the gym wearing grills at 60 years old? Second of all, you're in the gym. Why do you need grills in the gym? You're not there to show off, you're there to train, I thought, at least that's what I think. Who are you trying to impress? Who are you trying to show off to? Big boy? You got a wife, you're 60 fucking years old. I don't get it. The main thing he concerns himself with is glitz and glamour. What car is he driving? What is he wearing? Does he have jewelry on? Not the fact that his career is sunk, literally. Not the fact that he needs to recover his self-image and PR on the internet. Which, Callie, bro, seriously, hit me up. I have some mastermind level PR strats we can deploy. And this whole pre-workout massaging thing, it's likely bullshit. If we ask Chuck why he does it, he would probably come up with some misconstrued answer, mumbling and repeating himself over and over again. And everyone in the circle would just kind of nod their heads out of just genuine confusion, to be honest. It's one of those things where you're too embarrassed to disagree with the person. So you're just like, yeah, but in fact, there's actually several studies on this in particular, pre-workout massaging with massage guns or a masseuse or anything of that nature. And there's one that's really great, which has included 9 randomization controlled trials or RTCs and found that there is absolutely no benefit to performance or hypertrophic or muscle building results when doing various types of pre-workout massages. So again, like having a masseuse massage you or using that massage gun, it does nothing in terms of what the workout is going to provide you. A lot of the times people will say it loosens me up, it warms up the muscle, blah, 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 blah. Well, usually what does that is just moving the muscle actually. So the concept is kind of lost to most people at that point. Subscribe right now. You click the subscribe button, you get a Bugatti. Allegedly, you get a Bugatti. And if you subscribe later, you will not get a Bugatti. It is a limited time supply. Only 3 people will get the Bugattis who click the subscribe button right after this. 1, 2, 3, click that subscribe button. All right, back to the video.
Stick to it by all means necessary. That's the key to success. What makes a successful person unsuccessful is daily habits. If you get off your daily habits, if you're on them vices, you got to get rid of all vices. Be it too much corn, too much drink, smoke, too much processed food. You got to get rid of all vices in order to elevate, man.
I could swear Chuck was familiar with the corn world. And I'm also pretty sure Chuck is familiar with processed foods, as we've seen plenty of times over the years on his channel. That used to be all his channel was mukbang.
Well, man, sometimes you got to improvise and switch up the plans and be able to, consolidate what's happening at that time. And that's what improvisation brings. That's what manipulation of the situation brings. But yeah, man, feeling good overall. Got a little tweaks in my shoulder from working them so much.
What the hell is he saying here? Like, improvisations would be the correct term to use. Improvision. For a guy who brags about writing a book all of the time, because that's the one thing that he has to one up somebody, I wrote a book and you didn't, his spoken English really isn't that great, which also concerns me how this book was written. Now here's the thing. You might be thinking, hey, why are you picking on this guy? Why are you picking on this guy? He's just some random dude on the internet. He's an old head. Leave him be. Well, I talk about this dude so frequently, and we revisit him several times on the channel. One, because he's a lol cow. Like, every time you talk about him, there's just funny things to be talking about. But 2, because he's also a not good person, a terrible person. So he did a crypto rug pull, effectively stealing hundreds of people's money. Some individuals invested over $50,000 in the project, all to sink it right into the ground once Callie pulled out that money. 2, he offered a car giveaway, seemingly something that a lot of influencers do. The problem was this was a paid raffle. You had to pay to enter, all for a chance to win what, in my opinion, was a stupid looking car. The problem with this raffle is that the car was never given away. It was a setup all for Callie Muscle to just rake in some cash. And it worked. Of course, people bought into the raffle with the hopes that they would get a chance to win a decent car, and unfortunately, all of those people just ended up direct depositing some money into Callie Muscle's bank account. Callie Muscle has also lied about using steroids, and then as of late, he's now called us stupid for ever believing him that he didn't use steroids, but at the same time saying that he never abused steroids. It's very confusing. He goes back and forth on all of this is happening while he's selling you a course on how to be a better man, how to do social media right, how to make money. And I think you can just look at his repertoire of life and the things that he's done and the trends he's tried to chase and the things in terms of corruption that he's sought out to make money for, and realize that that's probably not the person you want to be hiring for this type of stuff, especially with his past criminal record. We can all put things behind us, but holy crap, it doesn't seem like he's learned anything. He's just in fact scaled it up. Keep in mind, the pictures being used for marketing, these are not his vehicles.
And of course, as a kid, you could plane, but it set me up to be the disciplined individual I am today. Every Saturday, I had to cut the grass, I had to wash the cars, and take out the garbage, and it taught me discipline and structure. And she would give you allowance when you did all your chores. So that started me out as a kid from when I can remember with my discipline.
This new podcast, the Money Muscle podcast, is quite a trip too. He talks about his upbringing here and having to take out the trash for allowance being hard and shaped him. Dude, come on, bro.
The main guy I listen to right now, Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, I'm trying not to forget no names. Zig Ziglar, we got the hip hop preacher. I listen to a lot of guys, and I listen more so I'm a student. I'm a student to language and delivery and communication. That's what I listen for. I don't necessarily listen for them to keep me pushing.
Okay, so he's also a student of language, delivery, and speaking. I think we could refer to the word that he just made up a while ago to prove that that's not the case.
And that's what improvisation brings.
I don't know. I think Callie is one of those creators that is incapable of bringing himself to say, hey, I messed up in the past. I scammed some people. I did some foolish things. I talked a bit too much shit. I've been hanging around with the wrong people. Let me move forward as a humble guy. I'll admit my failures. And with you guys, I'll be a little bit more passionate and less forceful with my content. Sadly, I don't ever think that that is going to be a play that Callie Muscle will partake in. He's just probably always going to think of himself as the shit talker, as the guy who starts drama, as the guy who is hard and has money and everybody's jealous of, at least as he thinks. But in reality, we know it's mostly a facade and that he is probably not so happy with his situation, or at least I wouldn't be. You can have all the money in the world. Let's say he is absolutely wealthy. Literally millions of people think he's an absolute joke. And that for me would be devastating. Bros, am I fucking look maxing right now? Am I look maxing? I think I need some lip filler up here.